What's up, everybody? I'm Raph, and this is Melon, the beautiful, gorgeous Panther Chameleon. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about how taming him is going, how handling's going with him. I wouldn't call it a guide onto like how to handle your chameleon, but we are going to talk a little bit about how our personal experience is going. But before we do, if you like reptile content, make sure you're subscribed to our channel and you like this video. And we're going to keep bringing you more reptile content twice a week. I think our biggest mistake, what took us so long to really handle Melon and tame him down at all, is that we probably waited too long. The reason being is that chameleons are notoriously stressed out. When he was a little baby, he was even more scared of everything, thinking that we're going to try to eat him. So we kind of just let him take a few months before we even tried to handle him, really. But aside from that, as you can see, he really doesn't like the mister either. He's trying to get away. What you see a lot in chameleon taming guides is to just associate food with a handling experience, and that'll make them more comfortable and want to deal with you. I don't know if Melon's a special case. He doesn't care if there is food. He'll notice the food and he'll maybe want the food. Not enough to want to come towards us, right? So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to try to tongue feed him a superworm, which are good but only as treats for chameleons. And we're going to see if he'll eat it. If not, we're going to show you how we managed to get him handleable. Okay, so like I said, we're going to try a little bit of tongue feeding. We're going to see if he wants anything to do with it, but he probably won't. Oh. Actually, superworms are the only thing that he has taken off the tongs for me. So maybe it's just his favorite snack. Yep. Come on. Oh, you missed. Alright, good job. Now that he is comfortable with us, he's getting to the point where we can tongue feed him if it's a superworm. If not, he associates this cup with food. It's called a shooting gallery. I forgot the company that makes it, but it's a really cool product so you can watch your chameleon eat up against the screen. And speaking of screens, one big problem is cage walking. Sometimes chameleons will, he'll get his little hands in there, but it's really not good for his hands. So something that we did to combat him trying to do that was this little I don't know, you could call it a chameleon tree, whatever. We built it out of dowels and some hemp string just to make some more climbing surfaces close to the screen, so even if he wants to be kind of over there, he has an option other than the screen. But the reason I bring that up is because the only way that we got Melon handleable is this stick, okay? Because this stick looks exactly like all the other sticks in the enclosure. So maybe it's tricking him and he thinks that it's part of his enclosure. I really don't know what it is, but he's not super excited about it right now because we did have a little handling debacle when we were trying to get the door open to tongue feed him. So maybe he doesn't want to come back out. But something that you can do if if we had to move him to clean the enclosure or something like that is if you just make it act like a tree, right? And you make it like something he can climb up, he's going to do it on his own right there. Right, Melon? There he goes. Yep, so the first thing he'll do is he'll come out like this, and then he's going to get really frustrated because he realizes, oh, I'm not in my house. But, again, chameleons can be really stressed out. So one main thing that we learned is he's sensitive to eyes. Like, he knows when there are eyeballs on him, and he knows when there's more than 4 eyeballs on him. It's usually just me and Rachel in here, and he seems to be okay with that, especially when he's in his enclosure. But when we have people over or something and he's got a bunch of eyes on him, you can tell, there's a shift in his demeanor. He does not like it. So, and this seems to be the case for a lot of our boreal animals, or animals that spend a lot of time in the trees. In the wild, it's not ingrained in his DNA to have people, him at chest level with people walking around him all the time. It's not something that he really would experience or his ancestors experienced too much. We know that a lot of arboreal snakes are known as to be bitey and aggressive. They're really just defensive. They're not used to what we are. We move a lot differently than them. And erratic movements, right? So if I have him and I start acting all herky jerky and stuff, that's kind of what predators might act like, and he knows that, so he doesn't want anything to do with that, really. So everything has to be really smooth and really gentle with him. He also likes being above things for the same reason that he's arboreal. Like right there, he was walking to try to find more stick or get somewhere, but he kind of just chilled out and decided that this was okay because he knows that I'm not above him and I'm not going to eat him. Another thing about this stick, it kind of kills two birds with one stone. Like I said, their feet are super specialized, obviously, right? Look at these little clamps he has. But these were built to climb on sticks, sticks, branches. Not so much obviously screen, and not human skin either. Our arms are a little too thick to be like just a little branch that he might be on. So although it is really fun to handle a chameleon, and he will spend time on our arms and our hands and things like that. We'll see if he'll do it right now. Yep. But the thing about this is, and fingers are okay, but I usually can't get him to stay too still when he actually notices that he's on my body. So I don't like to do this too much, as fun as it is. I like to try to keep him on my hands if I can. But if not, that stick really comes in handy because I'm still interacting, we're still having an interaction. Right, Melon? Here you go. No, right here. Yes. Because this way we're still able to have the interaction, but he's in a more, I know this isn't an actual tree branch in Madagascar, but he's in a much more natural kind of scenario this way. And that's, to me, with the food thing, I think it is a great idea, and if you manage their diet well, you can get them to associate things with food. We were talking about that with our Uromastyx and our Uromastyx taming video. He feels a lot more comfortable when there's food around. But the thing is, chameleons can get obese, and they're insectivores, right? So if you're just hammering them with food every day, they don't need food every day. He's reaching adulthood here. He's just about there to where, a couple times a week is going to be sufficient. This is not a chameleon care guide. I'm not telling you how to care for a chameleon. I'm just kind of talking about my experience with this little blue boy. But yeah, so you don't want to be hammering them with food constantly. If you just need one bug to get them out of the enclosure and they didn't eat yesterday and stuff, it's, you're not going to do anything wrong. But, we know reptiles are pretty prone to obesity. Would you relax? Reptiles are pretty prone to obesity because their metabolism is a lot different than ours. But we like to feed our pets, right? We like to make sure that our pets are fed and everything like that, and you should definitely make sure your pets are fed, but as long as you understand that this is not, it's not even like a cat or a dog, let alone us, but they don't need food all the time. So if there is another way where you can get him to calmly interact, you can see he's fired up, he's a little bright. We've seen him a lot more angry than this. And a big thing that's overlooked probably when it comes to handling a chameleon and stuff like that is you don't want them to be stressed out, right? And that's what that coloring up is. So a lot of people think chameleons change color to camouflage. It's not the case, right? They change color based on like how stressed they are or their body temperature. So he's got this light blue, he's a nosy bay locality, so they're all bright blue. Not always, obviously sometimes they're very dark blue when they're just kind of calm or cold. But he's fired up a little bit, which, he gets to this nice and light blue. But so speaking of stress and things like that, a big key to chameleon handling and obviously chameleon keeping in general is going to be the husbandry, right? Because if he's super stressed out because he can't find the right temperature, he can't find water, all these things, he's going to be more stressed and definitely not want to do something like this, because he's already kind of on what's going on mode, right? So you just want to be careful. Again, I'm not telling you how to care for a chameleon. Do your research. This has been a lot of research to keep him alive. The info's out there. There are smart people that know how to keep chameleons, and you can find good info on them. But I think that's an overlooked key to interacting with really any of these reptiles, is they need to be comfortable first before you start making them uncomfortable like this. So guys, that does it for today's video. Melon has finally co-starred on a video with us because, you know, he's finally getting there with handling, so he can do things like this now. And you guys really liked our last video about taming, which was with our Euromastics. It's our highest performing video, so I thought I would talk a little bit about this. But I don't want to do this under the guise that I'm telling you how to take care of your chameleon or whatever. It's just like I said, a lot of those handling guides, they say, oh, just give them food and they'll come right towards you. And it did not come that easily for us. So I just kind of wanted to throw another, just another look out there at it, you know, put some more info. Not necessarily an opinion, it's just what happened, right? So I just wanted to share our experience with this amazing little creature. Chameleons are definitely worth it if you're willing to put in the time. Time and research, really. You got to get everything dialed in beforehand. But that's maybe for a different video. So guys, once again, that does it for today. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Melon. Melon, shake hands. This has been Melon, and I'm Raph, of course. Again, you're watching Red Ribbon Reptiles. Make sure you subscribe and not miss any of our content twice a week. So, thanks again. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.